she was trying to use the legal system inappropriately.
Federal court's no joke, right? Compared to the state court, federal court, way tougher.
Ryan Reynolds and Blake Lively, once the epitome of Hollywood's golden couple, are now firmly in the spotlight for all the wrong reasons. Explosive revelations from their former lawyer have shattered their seemingly flawless public image, casting a dark...
But she's also pretty good at backtalk and never taking out the trash. What Ryan Reynolds forced his daughter to do on Deadpool is one of the most abhorrent things I have ever heard of.
It seems no one was immune to their behavior. Insiders claim even their own daughter wasn't spared from the fallout.
When I want your opinion, I'll take Wolverine's mouth.
He is a certified predator.
Following their lawyer's shocking decision to cut ties, the couple's legal chaos has drawn comparisons to Diddy's notorious legal troubles. The legal world was thrown into disarray when news broke of their lawyer's unexpected resignation.
So just like he does with Blake Lively, he's always denigrating his wife. He's always praising another man, especially Hugh Jackman, who he seems to have a deep love and fondness and intimacy with.
Blake Lively might have just done herself in this battle with Justin Baldoni, although she didn't do it intentionally. It was something she said
long before she ever worked with Justin Baldoni.
Right, but there's something she said that has now been resurfaced, and it is right on the nose as far as what the issues are in her battle with Justin Baldoni.
This wasn't a simple parting of ways. Reports suggest the lawyer's resignation stemmed from deep-rooted ethical concerns. Though the lawyer's identity remains under wraps to prevent backlash, sources claim the decision was largely due to the unmanageable demands Blake placed on her legal team during her lawsuit against Justin Baldoni.
How he completely tries to embarrass and humiliate Blake Lively over and over again publicly while he praises other people. And it looks like the same thing that he does to his wife, he is doing down to his daughter.
It's not going to be just a lawsuit. It's going to be the kind of lawsuit that is full of evidence, admissions, documents, which prove exactly what she did and how she bullied her way through the process.
Blake's increasing demands, asking her legal team to achieve near impossible feats in an already complex case, reportedly worsened the situation. Her alleged mistreatment of the legal team became a growing issue.
I don't know why anybody thinks it's funny to do this to children. Like, something's wrong with you if you find this okay.
He mocked Baldoni in the process. He said it's an effed up bad situation with what Baldoni, whatever his name is doing.
Multiple sources indicate that Blake frequently clashed with her lawyer over minor disagreements, questioning their legal strategies and even berating them. These tensions not only deteriorated their working relationship, but also raised doubts within the legal community.
Disney will not hold them accountable for anything, and they actually find it funny. It's laughable to do this to a little 7-year-old girl, your own 7-year-old girl.
They always want to pit women against each other. You don't hear about, like, Penn and Chase hating each other and being jealous and competitive.
I think I'm just brunette because of the books.
And everyone knows blondes are nicer anyway.
The legal community has reacted with a mix of shock and a certain sense of schadenfreude. While some sympathize with any lawyer trapped in the whirlwind of celebrity litigation, others see this as a cautionary tale for those who take on high-profile clients who push the limit.
Her credit, she really didn't want to say, and then came back later and said, I want to say it now, when I started looking at other people to play.
Yeah, but Ryan, to our discredit, we made Nezzy do, I'm not shitting you, 70 to 500 versions of that line.
Yeah.
Remember Savannah.
It was another promise was no pet monkey. Chuck has a matching pet monkey with coordinating outfits, and I was like, I would love to be part of the show, but I can't act with a monkey. And then I got a few of them.
The fallout for Blake's ongoing legal cases could be severe. With her defense strategy exposed and her reputation taking a hit, securing new legal representation amid such public scrutiny may prove to be a monumental.
When I tell you all of Hollywood is going to be deposed and they are terrified of what is going to be come out, what is going to be found out. I mean, we already have Bradley Cooper, Taylor Swift. We have Ben Affleck. We have, the list goes on and on and on.
But Baldoni's lawsuit is so just saturated with text messages and interviews and
he has a good, what I believe is a good faith basis, and this was not done in bad faith.
Shifting focus to Blake's Hollywood persona, her image has always been complex. Even before the current controversy, she was known as both charming and divisive within the industry.
I'll take Wolverine's D out your mouth. Even the daughter was forced to tell a sexually vulgar, predatory gay joke.
She's basically saying, well, them suing me is retaliatory because I made a sexual harassment. I mean, it's kind of absurd, implying that no one can defend themselves.
The problem for her is that, you know, we're all going to speculate how the New York Times got a copy of the Civil Rights Department complaint that, as you know, we talked about, should never have been come out in the first place. That was weird.
One particular incident involved a former assistant who recalled several moments where Blake allegedly made insensitive remarks about the assistant's background and personal life, fueling ongoing questions.
And they forced her, he and Blake forced her, Sean Levy, forced her to do this.
And you're invoking this law, but I don't see any malice in the Baldoni suit, because there is a lot of evidence that maybe this isn't with maliciousness. So the judge, to see that a reasonable jury can find one way or the other, and if there's a tipping balance of fact, I'm not going to kick it away here. So it's a very high burden, and it should be, really. But like you said, this is really designed for when people are called out, like, give me the basis for your lawsuit.
Blake's alleged behavior has begun to take a toll on her career. Rumors swirl that directors and co-stars are now hesitant to work with her, worried about the potential for on-set drama and unwanted media attention.
Multiple versions of this. He says 70 to 500 times. What kind of time? What type of number is that? Let's go with the high end, since you want to be an ass, and let's say 500 times you made this girl practice different iterations of Wolverine having his male genitalia in her father's mouth.
This is all very strange that the New York Times got this article, and there's text messages that are incomplete from your complaint. Maybe this isn't malicious. Maybe your statements were not in good faith, and that's what she has to do in her motion.
In Hollywood, media manipulation often operates behind the scenes, only becoming apparent when a scandal breaks. Blake's rumored collaboration with powerful outlets like the New York Times during her legal battles is one such example of this behind-the-scenes maneuvering.
Judges, especially in New York, and a lot of contracts that are entered here in Hollywood have a New York venue provision. These judges are very well versed in the things that keep coming up, and these defamation claims do keep coming up. And then
take March 2020, when just days after Blake filed a lawsuit against Justin Baldoni, the New York Times published a detailed article that seemed to align perfectly with her legal narrative. The timing and tone raised suspicions, especially considering how swiftly it followed the law.
And she shouldn't have done it. She shouldn't have been forced to do it. And I want you to hear what else they say.
This judge is going to be very, very competent in this, and he's going to apply the law, which requires a showing of malice, which I don't think she's going to be able to undo once Baldoni's opposition shows all the things.
The article painted Baldoni in a distinctly negative light, prompting speculation that it wasn't a coincidence. Many believe this was a deliberate move by Blake's PR team, part of a larger strategy to sway public and legal opinion. Meanwhile, Ryan Reynolds found himself under scrutiny, not in court, but in the court of public opinion, over his parenting during the filming of Deadpool.
What Ryan Reynolds forced his daughter to do on Deadpool is one of the most abhorrent things I have ever heard of.
Allegations have surfaced suggesting that Ryan Reynolds not only allowed but at times encouraged his young daughter's involvement in scenes containing material deemed inappropriate for her age.
When she didn't want to do it, well, I'm just going to find someone else to do it. And then, no, daddy, I'll do it. See, when a narcissist, when they're trying to manipulate you, and you can see the grooming starting young here in this situation. To me, I'm not an expert, but as a regular person who has experienced had experience with narcissists, this is what they do.
But we love it too much to have ever taken it out. This Eric Carmen song.
One particularly disturbing detail involved the child delivering explicit lines intended to be humorous in the context of the film, a decision widely criticized as irresponsible and deeply troubling.
He is a certified predator.
The backlash was swift and intense. Audiences and media critics alike expressed their outrage, not just over Reynolds' judgment as a parent, but also over the broader implications of such content making it to...
I'm going to find somebody else. But was it just, I'm going to find somebody else to do it? Okay, sweetie, I understand. It's egregious just to even want this to be done. But okay, sweetie, I understand. Do you really think that that was Ryan Reynolds? Because it's opinion to say somebody is a predator, well, then that is my opinion.
Social media erupted with criticism, and parenting blogs as well as online forums engaged in heated debates over the ethics of exposing children to adult themes under the...
Guiltily, that is my daughter, Inez.
I'm so sorry we have to admit that.
And I am Father of the Year over here for allowing her to say such language.
This incident reignited long-standing concerns about the treatment of child actors in Hollywood and the blurred lines when it comes to age-appropriate roles in films meant for mature audiences.
He and Blake Lively went to destroy Justin Baldoni, how even now they're filing these ridiculous motions to dismiss, claiming victimhood, pretending like they didn't do anything wrong, still lying on Justin Baldoni. He is a predator, a bully, a narcissist, a psychopath, and everything else that you can think of, because it is that gross.
The controversy was further amplified by Disney and Marvel's continued endorsement of Deadpool. Known for its irreverent humor and boundary-pushing content, the film challenged traditional notions of what superhero movies should be, especially under family-friendly.
This was so gross, so upsetting to me. I have to talk about it. Now, I need to wait until the 2-minute mark has passed when on YouTube, because it is that gross and graphic that I cannot actually put it in the first 2 minutes.
Critics were quick to point out the glaring contradiction. Disney and Marvel, long celebrated as champions of wholesome family entertainment, supported a film laden with explicit content and controversial creative choices, including those involving children.
Behind the scenes, and if you actually dissect the lines, they are catastrophically gross. But who thinks that your daughter is the dirtiest? Your daughter Inez.
The disputes, especially Blake's lawsuit against Justin Baldoni, have become even more complicated due to the involvement of their daughter, Iz. The legal strategies employed have combined not just legal expertise, but a strong PR angle designed to influence public opinion as much as the courtroom.
Clip is on YouTube, and now Deadpool is on Disney Plus for children to consume. This is what Disney has decided is appropriate. This is what Marvel has decided is appropriate.
This stark contrast between their brand image and their actual studio actions has raised serious questions about the influence major film companies have in shaping societal norms. Where should the line be drawn between...
Who thinks that your daughter, your 7-year-old daughter, is the dirtiest out of the Deadpool movie, out of all of the homophobic, disgusting, in my opinion, sexually predatory lines, filming, everything about this movie is disgusting.
Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds' legal battles have been under intense public scrutiny, with every move not only analyzed for its legal merit, but also for its PR ramifications.
If you don't know, she played Kidpool in Deadpool. She was 7 years old at the time. Now, I'll show you, this is one thing he said about her. Only co-star I argued with. Most people think Kidpool is the dirtiest.
Ultimately, the Deadpool controversy has become a case study in Hollywood's ongoing struggle to balance artistic freedom with moral responsibility, and the consequences that arise when that